This story is currently going around of a man who brutally murdered his wife in the presence of their children, all because he was suspecting her of cheating on him. This is coming 4 days after they took this picture on the 4th of January 2026, the first Sunday of the year. How did they go from a seemingly happy couple to the couple on the news for such tragedy? Now, there is no one account of what really happened, but from what multiple people are saying, there is a chance that the issue that led to this tragedy was something that has been brewing a long time. The man, Mr. Ayola Ayawanle, was said to have been married to his wife, Ganiyat, for quite some time. Together, they had 5 children, according to sources, but in the past, they lost 2 of those children. And as at the time of this tragedy, it was just them and their 3 kids in the house, as well as a help who was sent home moments before the man struck. They appeared to live in a single compound all by themselves with no immediate neighbors. Their next door neighbors were fenced away from them. But according to them, they know that the couple fight a lot. They know that there's been a history of domestic violence going on in that marriage. But just like most marriages, they would settle, fix it, and come back. And just like we saw them on the 4th of January, taking a picture like a seemingly happy couple. But on this day, the 8th of January 2026, neighbors recall hearing them fight. They recall them quarreling, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. Another source also claimed that the woman, Ganiyat, had expressed her intention to leave the marriage. Unclear why, but it could be that she too had accused him of infidelity and also being a drunk. And maybe that idea of her leaving was what could have caused the tension to get to this point. However, the account that the house help gave seems to point to a different direction, because according to her, on that day, the man had approached her, that is the house help talking, asking her if anytime she went out with Madame, that is his wife, Ganiyat, did she go to see other men? And the house help responded by saying that no, Madame doesn't go to see other men when I'm with her. We just go to the market or go run the errand and then we come back home. But for some reason, Ayola was not satisfied with this response. It's almost as though he was reaching for something. And so he gave the housekeeper transport money to go home. Now, put in mind that the said house help may not have been their direct housekeeper. Another source has indicated that that housekeeper that was asked the question was a neighbor who was also a housekeeper for a blind man living around, most likely in the same compound, but invariably just a neighbor. She was the one who gave the account, from what we understand. And one thing she also noted was that after the Mr. Ayola offered her the money to leave, he also told her that he was going to do something and he does not want her to be affected by it, pretty much giving her the warning. But I can't tell if why she had to leave if she wasn't living in the same house with them. However, though, the said girl said that while she was attending to the man she is caring for, she heard the scream and the shout of Ayobami, that is the man's wife. And when she came out to look, she saw the man hitting her and thought it was just a normal beat, a normal fight. Not until she realized that the woman was bleeding. Another aspect of the story that we got to hear was that he called his older daughter, gave her money to go and buy sniper. And when the daughter came back with a sniper, thinking that dad wants to use it to kill all the mosquitoes in the house, he locked them in the room. At this point, his wife, Ganiyat, some sources say her name is also Ayobami. At this point, she was not around when the house girl left, when the daughter went to buy the sniper. But when she arrived, it did not take long before the man pounced on her. According to people who were there when they were rushing her to the hospital before she gave up the ghost, with the little strength she had, she was mumbling that she didn't do anything, that she just got into the house and he started attacking her. Some of the details we could gather was that when she came into the house, the man started forcing her to drink the sniper, but she refused and started, fighting back. And that was when he brings out the knife and starts stabbing her. She used the last bulk of her strength to run to the gate to raise alarm to get help. And by the time the neighbors could come pick her up, the man had fled through his backyard over the fence to only God knows where. The neighbors had to rush her to the hospital go find the children who were locked in the room, unlock them, and take them to safety. And while they left, it is believed that Ayola came back to the house to clean up, almost as though he was trying so hard now to cover his tracks. He came back to clean up, but probably before he could finish, the police had been called and more neighbors had heard about it, and so he ran away again. Although a particular blog painted it to look like he came to take sample of the woman's blood to go somewhere, which is trying to make the story look somehow now. But it is possible that he was actually trying to clean up the blood stains that he had caused from stabbing his wife, but could not keep up, could not meet up, and unfortunately had to go back to where he was hiding before he came back to clean up. This happened on the 8th, and the very next day on the 9th, neighbors started looking for him. They began even posting his picture, trying to find him, knowing that he's a killer and he's on the run, because as at this point, his wife, Ayobami Ganiyat, had died. By the time she got to the hospital, they couldn't save her. She succumbed to her injury and died, making the husband, Ayola, a wanted man. It would not take long before they would find him, but at the time they found him in an open field, he was already dead himself. It is being said that he unalived himself by drinking of that substance, the sniper, because when they found him in the open field, he was unresponsive and had foam coming out of his mouth, which indicated something poisonous. It could also be that that was why he came back to the house. When you look at things, I don't think by the time he killed his wife and tried to flee, he was fleeing with the sniper. But when he noticed that the coast was clear a little bit, he went back home to take the sniper. And I think that was what he came to do, not necessarily come to clean. Maybe he attempted to clean with hopes that there is still chance. You know, it's after you've done something stupid that you realize what you've done. And I think that was the case for him. He was in the heat of the moment with his wife, got angry, did what he did, ran away, had time to reflect that his life is messed up now, came back home hoping that he can clean it up and, lie that it was a thief or a criminal or something, how they make up their lies. But when he realizes that he couldn't lie anymore and that the kids have already been taken out of the room where he had locked them, and the woman has been taken to the hospital, and neighbors are already talking and walking around the premises, the suspicion that the police would soon come there pretty much let him know that he could not clean up the crime scene and get away with it, and there was not much he could do. And that would leave him the only option of taking the sniper, which he took and then eventually used. On the scene where he was found with 2 mobile phones. One may have been his and one belonging to his wife, a voter's card and an ATM card, as well as a poisonous substance he took, which is most likely the sniper. It's still very unclear what gave him the inclination that his wife was cheating. It's still not certain. Given the look of things, I'm sure this is one of those men who probably married his wife for the beauty and has led to insecurity. And it could also be that the fact that the wife was trying to, or was thinking, or it's been said that she was thinking of leaving the marriage, that could have posed a serious threat. And I think what women should do now is, if you feel like your life is in danger in your marriage, or your husband is cuckoo crazy, there is no need to throw the threats of leaving. Like, so far, that doesn't seem to work well for a lot of women. The moment they're threatening to leave, it usually goes very left. Maybe it's time to just leave without announcing it. Maybe that could have probably helped her. I, in my mind, feel like the man, because there are some sources saying that he too has been accused of being unfaithful, also adding to him being a drunk and adding to them constantly fighting. So I'm assuming and guessing that when the woman said that she had had enough and wants to leave the marriage, he started looking for every reason in the book to make her the bad person too. Because why was he asking the house help if the woman goes to see anybody? And could it be that since he was with her mobile phone, he had seen something there? But if he was sure of her cheating, there would be no need to ask the house help. Or was he trying to ask the house help to know if she's aware and maybe kill the house help too? It's unclear. It's really unclear. There was no inclination. There was nothing. I feel like if he had strong evidence that his wife was cheating, he would have used it. He would have made it out. He would have brought it out. He would have probably posted on Facebook before drinking the substance. But I don't think so. I don't know. So it's hard to tell. When tragedy like this, or when double tragedy like this happens between the attacker and the victim, it's hard to know the truth. It's hard to know what really happened. Right now, a lot of people are more focused on the kids, how they got to see and witness their mom get killed by their father, and now they still don't even have a father. What is going to be the fate of these 3 children? This is trauma for life. These are things that shape the mind, behavior, and mentality of children at a very young age. If they had to experience such tragedy, there is no amount of therapy that can bring them out of this. None. They would never be the same again. It's just unfortunate. It's sad. Relative of either of the couple are yet to say anything. I've not really seen. I was looking forward to hearing what the brother to the wife or the sister to the husband will say regarding their marriages. That's most likely the only way now we can understand the dynamic. We know that they had tension in the marriage. We know that they fought a lot. We know that, he had accused her of cheating in the past. We know that she too may have accused him of cheating, and there's been mention of him being a drunk. So we know all these things. It would be also nice to know what Ayobami have told her friends, her close friends. That is kind of another way we could get a piece of the story to make sense. What are the things the wife had confided in to her friends? Women usually have friends that they share things going on in their marriage. And I'm sure she must have told somebody, a friend, a sister, a parent, about what was going on. And if she did, those are the things that will help us understand fully well why this man would have done what he did. And he too would have confided in friends. Although it's usually rare with men in marriages. This is just saying from a true crime story standpoint. When we see incidents similar to this, is usually the woman whose friends she had confided in that gives us backstory of things that have happened in the marriage that is not on the blog or on the news. Men, on the other hand, barely have this. If a woman believes her husband is cheating or is being mistreated in a marriage, she's most definitely confiding in someone, in a sister, in a friend, in a brother, in a parent. But usually when a man is going through something in the marriage, they are most likely inclined to keep it on the low, because there isn't many people they could trust. They don't know who they would tell and who will laugh at them. And I think that is why a lot of men hold back to sharing what is going on in their marriages. It's rare. Some men do it when they have best friends or sisters or family who are very much involved in their lives, but most men don't. However, it would be interesting to know if Ayola had somebody he had complained to as to what was going on in the marriage, so that we can understand why he took it this far. I mean, he could have easily just kicked her out of the house, sent her packing, or ended the marriage himself, but for him to try to force her to drink the sniper and then proceed to stabbing her multiple times kind of indicates something that we don't know. It cannot just be cheating, because it doesn't seem like he had evidence for that, especially in the presence of the children. Somebody mentioned that he may have suspected that the children are not his, but I don't know. Such a claim needs serious backup of evidence. It's not you can't just wake up as a man and feel like, oh, my kids are not mine, let me kill my wife. That is not how it's done. Even men who discover that their kids are not theirs rarely do this. They rarely do it. So that kind of claim, it needs more than just, a Facebook comment. So guys, we will be updating this story. I'm just looking forward to family members of the couple speaking up as to what they know regarding the marriage and why this man would have gone this far. If this is the reason why, because again, we've seen people kill each other for less, but at the end of the day, if this is all there is to the story, I guess we'll just have to take it the way it is. Sometimes we don't get explanation to certain tragedy. Even like that story that happened in Abuja regarding the former senator's in-law and a young photographer. We still don't have answers, but we have moved on. That is one of the saddest form of tragedy. At least for this one own, we understand that there is infidelity accusation and there is a woman trying to leave. But at the end of the day, it's still not satisfying to a lot of people. They feel like there is something more to this. But if this is all we get, we just have to take it. Because like that photographer story in Abuja, we got nothing. And we still took it like that. So is it possible that Ayola is mentally unstable, given that he smokes and drinks? That could be, oh. Maybe he's seeing things or hearing things and listening to voices in his head. That could also be. But now there is no way of knowing because he gone. He is gone too.